And now the floor to Donata Levi, who is going to speak about the Italian heritage Watchdog and show us maybe its website as well, Patrimonio SOS. Donata is from the University of Udine.
I wish to thank very much the organizer of the conference for invitation to tell you the story of this website, patrimoniosos.it, that is SOS for Art Heritage. The name Patrimonio SOS was thought as a specific polemical answer to a joint stock company named Patrimonio SPA. SPA is the Italian acronym for joint stock company, and in this case, patrimonio means national estate. This company, Patrimonio SPA, was established by law in June 2002. It enabled the state to make money by selling parts of its cultural, historical, archaeological, and art heritage. It was inspired by the aim to privatize what until then had been considered as owned by the entire community of citizens. And it enforced the idea that economic values prevailed over immaterial but highly symbolical values. Luckily, the joint stock company could never operate, but at the time, the act aroused deep concerns among those interested in the protection of Italian art heritage. Thus, in July 2002, a colleague of mine, Marco Colareta, and I circulated by mail a petition to the authorities against this act. Within a few weeks, it was signed by almost 3,000 people. Not only university professors, not only officials of the local superintendencies, you know, the local branches of the Ministry of Cultural Heritage, not only men of culture or people professionally involved in the field, but also the public at large. Most of them accompanied their signatures with personal comments about the need to do something to safeguard our cultural heritage. Thus, we had the idea of creating a website. In the first place, a website to inform people through daily updated press. I tried, sorry. This is the first, the homepage in November 2002. We wish to inform people through a daily updated press review through the publication of press releases and data about events, conferences, meetings, initiatives, and through the publication of acts of law and parliamentary proceedings, public petition and questions. In the second place, we wanted to give voice to people who shared our concerns and to people who needed to denounce or damages to the art heritage, or to alert about risks of mismanagement, destruction, and sale of historical buildings and works of art. Accordingly, one section of the site is devoted to cultural heritage at risk, and in this section, both data taken from official lists of buildings on sale and data provided by concerned citizens are collected. Unfortunately, in this website, we cannot publish photo. Therefore, we opened a blog, a more domestic blog, at the address you see in the slide. This is a sort of a visual appendix to cultural heritage at risk. Another section entitled Essays and reviews has original papers and discussions, mainly among experts, not only art historians or archaeologists, but also economists, jurists, restorers, and so on. And then we publish also the mail. We daily receive messages not only by Italians but also by foreigners concerned about the fate of the Italian heritage. Many correspondents ask for information about various subjects, especially administrative and legislative matters. Many others alert on damage and risks. We extend our reach not only to monuments and very important sites and very important places, but also to second-tier buildings such as farmhouses, for example, and to urban planning. In fact, the boundary between issues about landscape and historical heritage in Italy is very, very thin. Initially, we have been driven merely by the need to do something, with no clear idea of whether and how long to go on. But we soon realized that without intending to, we had in fact filled a gap in information in this specific area. I show you some data about the number of visits and visitors from 2004 to 2009, and also, if you wish, data about the visits in a single year. The third slide gives you an idea of the number of articles and files collected during our activity. The number of visits and visitors show that our website is appreciated. We furnish people with a service, a totally free service. Indeed, we are aware that the files we have been storing in the past years are very useful to professionals, for example, to journalists, who in theory could pay, but the idea prevails that information should be freely widespread and should reach the highest number of people, and conversely, that people need to have a place ready to accept their alerts as well as their opinion. Indeed, 9 years of activity is not a short time for an initiative which is based exclusively on the work of a very small group of volunteers who obviously can work at the website only in spare time. There were no more than 12 of us when we began, and for the last 2-3 years there are 5 with me. Young, at least according to the Italian academic style, young scholars, archaeologists and art historians, all but one freelancers without permanent positions. And I think that most of our success is due to the perception that we are totally free. Obviously, it is not a financial success. We accept no ad, for example, and we are not tied to any institution, not influenced by the market, and not bound to political parties or organizations. Also, obviously, we are not apolitical. Our press review is aimed to cover all kind of newspapers and weekly magazines, occasionally some monthly magazines.